Hey, where's Zane's Father Chris here. Welcome to our Crucifixional life. I'm glad to have you beautiful people with us. We're talking this week about my sins and all of the things that I have tried to grow from and have done so by living what we call a crucifixional life. One I want to talk about today is a little more recent. It's not necessarily that far back in my past, but there was one Sunday one Saturday, and I may have spoken to you about this before. There was a wedding, beautiful couple, beautiful wedding, beautiful reception. It was awesome on a Saturday night. And it was awesome, but the music was loud. And those thumping when you can't hear and you have to scream to the guy next to you so you can hear them. Father, champagne toast this and have a glass of wine here. And, just all of the dancing and screaming and yelling that we were doing was a blast. But when we left, my wife and I was like, oh my gosh, my head is killing me, right? It was just a lot of stimuli. I got up the next morning and went to church, and I was still I wasn't tipsy or hungover, none of that stuff. I don't get like that anymore, but I just been beaten up the night before at this reception. And I went to preach, which is my job number one. It's the first job description when an Orthodox priest is ordained, is to preach the gospel of truth, the gospel of righteousness. And my sermon sucked. It was terrible because my head was thumping and I hadn't done my work and I hadn't rested and I hadn't prepared. And what I'm supposed to do, my purpose as a parish priest, I blew it off at this wedding the night before. And I realized it's because I was, a lot of reasons. I was just lazy on it, saying no. I was lazy on going home early. I was lazy on getting up earlier. Whatever I could have done. I was lazy throughout the weekend that I didn't write it on Tuesday or Wednesday. There were a lot of things there that I could have done, but because I was so busy or so lazy, I didn't do my work. And in that moment, I decided I will never let that happen again to my people. They deserve better, right? They deserve my best effort. Even if my best effort stinks, they deserve it, right? That came out funny, but you know what I'm saying. They don't deserve a less than best effort is what I ultimately mean. And so, it's like in Proverbs. I mean, you can see the proverbist is calling me out. Be like the ant, or he says, go to the ant, O sluggard, and learn her ways, right? Like the ant. And you say, well, what are you talking about, Father Chris? The ant. I mean, what's the ant got about it? Got to do with about it. Look, she, the ant, he, the ant, they don't waste time. They do their business. They plow because in the summer, they need to get their food because in the winter, when they get, stuffed away in the ground, they got to have something to eat, right? Look further in verse 9. We hear it says, how long will you lie there, O sluggard? When will you arise from sleep? A little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come upon you like a vagabond. Boom. That's why. Because if you sit around and do nothing, and you go lazy on it, you're going to end up, and here he says poverty, but you're going to end up falling well short of where you should be, right? And so here's the thing. You and I especially, we're not alone in that desire for rest and comfort and not doing hard things. We don't really want to be comfortable being uncomfortable, right? And yet we know that that's really the only way to get there. We can't be a sluggard, right? Sluggard, lazy, someone who doesn't do the work, who basically only tends to want to cater to themselves' desires and pleasures and need, and yet not produce and not get anything done. We don't want to be this way. We know that we can excel. We can go far beyond that. We can be so much better than we are. And yet sometimes we find ourselves like the sluggard who needs to go look at the ant and see and learn her ways, right? I mean, we're not alone in this. So what do we do? How do we overcome this problem? Well, I'm going to tell you. The way we overcome this problem is by living a crucifixional life. And I'm pretty stoked. I am so lucky and blessed because my job, it's not even a job. I have learned in my life that crucifixional living is the only way to overcome all of the obstacles, the problems, the challenges, the monsters that we faced in life. And I just get to teach people about it and hopefully inspire and encourage other people to do the same and follow suit. And so I'm so lucky that way in the sense that it's not my plan. I have no plan. I just took God's plan and started to get down after it, and it works. And I get to share that with you. And so I say to you, this 6-part battle plan we've been talking about all week, it's simply like, I'm blessed, man. I get to share it with the world. Some people want it and some don't. I mean, it's fine. I'm not offended by one who does or doesn't, but I am saying that if you are someone who's looking to say, look, I got to get over this hump, this hurdle of not really producing my best work, like Father Chris with the sermon a couple of years ago after that wedding reception. I got to get some. All right, fine. It's a pretty simple thing. Here, I'm going to give you a plan. Visit our website and download the 6-part battle plan. I mean, the bundle's better, but the battle plan is awesome. Get the battle plan and watch we use the human body as the metaphor, our mind, our heart, our lungs, our body for physical health. Feet for work, right? We stand upon our feet. They're the platform upon which we stand. And watch these feet videos. You're going to learn how to, live in your work life in a crucifixional manner. And here's the thing. You can keep going in mediocrity. I mean, you can just keep going along in a ho-hum job, not happy with it, just paying bills, right? Or you can go on with it with purpose and power and find yourself really being successful in whatever it is you do. The choice is yours. It's there. You can do the work and become what you want to be, or you can just hang out and stay the same. It's up to you. But if you're not interested in just staying the same, if you're interested in an exceptional life, that battle plan is going to help you do it. Look, I'm bragging, forgive me, but I'm blessed, bro. I got a great life. It's not because someone sprinkled salt and pepper of magic dust on me. It's because I live crucifixionally every day. And I know that it works. I can see it in my own life when I look in the mirror. I'm not, The point I'm making is it can be yours as well. You just have to decide and then commit and then go get some. Love you. We're going to be back tomorrow to talk about serving others and death. Till then, as always, keep walking on the way of the warrior saint.